Hello, everybody. It's lovely to be here with you. Absolutely fabulous. I feel privileged, and it's a huge pleasure for me to be here with you. Before I say why I think it's a privilege, I just would like to add something to complement what Deborah was talking about regarding feedback. As a matter of interest, the majority of people in this room, if not all the teams in this room, are actually driven by a motivator which we call the searcher. And the searcher is the kind of person, the kind of team that wants to make a difference. So the key, the number one reward that searchers are looking for, which is virtually everybody in this room, is quality feedback. In fact, one of the strange and terrible facts of life that we all experience is we never get enough. We never got enough from our teachers at school. We didn't get enough from our parents. We don't get enough possibly from our partners. Our children are total ingrates, never give us the feedback we're looking for. And so we actually spend our life, and our bosses too sometimes, do not give us the feedback that we really want. William James, the great American psychologist, put it this way. He said, the deepest principle of human nature is the craving to be appreciated. And look at that word. It wasn't the need to be appreciated. It wasn't the desire to be appreciated. It was the craving. It was like a drug. People want quality feedback. So I'd like to just share with you 5 steps that you could use when you want to give constructive feedback to a member of your team. 5 key things that will make a profound difference to how they respond to what you're doing. 1 is you need to actually say what they have said or what they've done. You need to tell them what you already know. They took that conversation on the phone. They picked up the phone, they handled that difficult customer, and they did that, and that's what they did, and you've done that. But the second thing, which is even more important than noticing what they've done, is to explain why that is important, what difference that makes to you. I'm so glad you picked up the phone and took that call from Mr. Smith. I would have been on the line for an hour with that guy, such a pain in the neck. You know, I really am glad you took that call. That really helped me. So we've got what they've done, but then the really important thing psychologically for your employee to get is, your team member to get is, yes, my boss has seen me actually making a difference. Then you praise them. You say, good job. So those kind of managers that go around all the time saying, oh, good job, good job. That praise itself is empty. It just becomes an empty ritual. It's a mantra that is devoid of meaning. But when you've actually added to, you've said what they've done, you've looked at the consequence of what they've done, the difference it's made, then you praise them, then it begins to make sense to them. Then, if you want to be really good, you express confidence in them. Either confidence in them now or confidence in what you're doing as a team. And finally, the icing on the cake is you ask them to do it again. Well done. Keep on doing that. It's really making my job better. That's really helping me. Ask them to do good behaviors again. Reinforce the good behaviors. 5 simple steps, your people will love it. And don't beat yourself up if you don't do all 5. Do 3 of them. Make sure you explain the consequence, the difference that their behavior makes. You do that when you do feedback. And by the way, it won't just be your team that love you. Try it on your partner. Try it on your kids. Try it on your neighbors. Try it on your friends. Everybody loves it. And everyone's hacked off with, good job. Oh yeah, thanks. Thanks, yeah. What does that mean? We want to be noticed as people. We want to be appreciated. It's very, very deep. And if we can be a source of this appreciation, if we can be a source of noticing what people are really like, they are going to love you. Not only are they going to love you, they're going to follow you to the ends of the earth. Because people psychologically are secretly crying out to be led. They want to know the person that can tell them what to do next. Why do they want to know it? Because they want to remove uncertainty from their life. Because this is a very confusing life. It's very, very confusing. There's no jobs for life anymore. There's no staying where in the same town for the next 70 years where you were born. It's all mobile. It's all up in the air. Russia's going into Ukraine. You know, World War III could break out. People don't know what to do. People have lost their sense of values. They're looking for leaders. They're looking for people who are role models for them to take them into the future with some kind of security and safety. So when you start giving feedback, constructive feedback, and you start using these 5 methodologies for doing it, they are going to really respond positively to you, especially when I tell you this is a major motivator within the Motorpoint group. And I've just mentioned that magic word, Motorpoint. And it's such a pleasure and a privilege to be here with you today. Why? Because I've been in 3 times already. I've met the board. I've met the HR team. I've met your bright new things from various depots. That was great as well. I've watched the programme Bargain Britain. I love the Newport team. Wasn't that great? Fabulous. I feel as if I'm beginning to know Motorpoint. And do you know what I'm beginning to know? I'm beginning to know what a professional outfit it is. And I love working with professional outfits. I love working with people. Mark this morning was talking about being the best. What's the point in being second best? Deborah was talking about your self-esteem. Self-esteem partly depends upon self-efficacy, how good we are at doing what we do. So my target in my business is, a word for you, is to be preeminent, to be at the top of the mountain. Your task in Motorpoint is to be preeminent. So how do you think I feel coming into a group of people who want to be the very best, who want to kick butt, who want to beat the competition? How does that make me feel? That makes me feel great. I was in the bar last night. I was getting high on green tea. I had a load of it. And I was speaking to a guy called Mick. And Mick Martin, he was a great guy. Is he here? Where is he? Yeah, he's a great guy. And he told me a story, and it was so powerful, really. He was telling me about the Chingford branch. And he was saying about, you know, when they got there, I think it was the first month, in one of the months, they sold 300 cars in the month. And the previous car dealership that was there, the manager was there, and apparently the most they'd sold was 70. And the response of this guy to "we've sold 300" was, "You're a liar. You couldn't possibly have sold it." And that's what happens with people who've actually got a limiting belief. Because what's really happening in that situation? You can't have sold 300 cars because I can't sell 300 cars. Because I couldn't do this. And so if I accept that you can, what I'm really saying about myself is I'm not very good at my job. And that is what psychologically people cannot accept. They do anything rather than accept the truth and change themselves. So we, as people, in order to be the best that we can possibly be, have got to be open to changing ourselves.